Hello. Good evening. What's up, boys? My side, all good and making progress. Good progress in porting plane shift to Unreal Engine. We are pushing through in our spare time. I mean, it's still in our spare time, but I have to say that we are making good progress. So, which is what counts. Hello, Tua. Tua, since you are here, I wanted to ask you for the data table textures and data table icons. Is it something that you would like to say check in yourself, upload yourself, or you want me to do it? You prefer maybe that I do it myself? Because I see you did a lot of updates, and I think maybe it could be a good time to put it in. I don't know. So that we can have new icons and the right items. So let me know if you want to do it yourself or you prefer me to do it. Okay, so I'm just doing some quick updates to Facebook, Twitter I did, the Discord I did as well, and I think I just wanted to post also in the calendar. So I'm just doing some quick updates before starting the stream. I streamed Sunday evening, I think, right? Sunday evening, and then I'm streaming again today, which is the 7th. So I'm adding it to the calendar, so we also have a kind of a track, in the calendar of our different streams, which is always nice. And okay. So let me switch the screen. So where we were, what we were doing. Good question. Wait a second. Too many windows. Need a. Okay, we are here. Need a console to do this. I think that the streamers that are doing it as a job actually have a kind of a console, a physical console, where they just press buttons and they associate those buttons to the different functionality of switching screens and things like that. So I'm not that advanced as a streamer, but so let me go back to and I'm suffering a bit in the setup at the beginning. So we were working on NPC path. NPC path is working pretty well at the moment. There are still few things I need to. What was this ding ding? There are still few things I need to modify, but overall it's okay. So basically we had the issue, if you remember in the last stream that we were working with NPC path, we had an issue where one of the guards was walking along the path of the walled city, and at a certain point he was stopping. Then after that, I did a number of updates, changes, and fixes to the code. And the good news is that now is walking properly across the walled city, which is very nice. Then other things that I found, to be able to resolve that, actually, the only way for me was to recreate the same problem in a simpler scenario. That is what usually programmers do when they are stuck and when they are hitting their head on a wall. And so I decided to do it in the sample database and not in the production database. So I went to the dummy database, which is the one that has just few NPC and such. And I try to change the path manually to create a simple path structure, but I realized that it was too complex for me to do it manually on the database, and so I just decided to implement the editing of the path, which was already present in the previous game, but as you can see here, I said autoscope for now, right? So I didn't want to do it because it seems that it was maybe too much to do. It was a bit too much to do for now, but I didn't have another way, so I had to implement it. And so actually, I think we can upgrade. We can upgrade this, and I have added I've enabled a lot of commands. So from path start to let me type it differently. Otherwise, like this is not very clear. So it's basically implement modification or creation of new path. So this is what I did, and this goes through path start stop. So is start stop add point and whatever. So mainly are these commands. So start, stop, and add points, which are the one that I used. But I also had to check that. I think it's point add actually. So I implemented those ones, and those are working properly. Now I didn't fully test the adjust, because there is also the ability to adjust a certain path. But this one, let's say, is done. What we can consider maybe autoscope for now, and I hope it will stay this time, is to implement the adjust modification of an existing path, right? So this one, if I can avoid doing it, I would prefer. So let's say autoscope for now, and maybe I will need it, and so I will implement it. But for now, this one I will leave it. Out of scope. Okay. So this one I did. Now visible invisible, which was the other piece that we were missing, I implemented and I fixed it. But I see that sometimes it's still working in a kind of a weird way. I don't fully understand why sometimes NPCs are invisible, and I don't know. I need to think about it and test it more. But say for what we care now, I would say that it's working. Okay, so I don't know if I want to tick it green. Maybe I tick it yellow. I don't know. I tick it orange. So it's somehow working. We need to just test it a bit more. Okay. Now another thing that we wanted to display was the direction of the path. I did that, but I understood it's not very useful at the end, so I removed it. But yeah, then two other things I needed to fix, and I actually fixed. One was the let me go in black again. One was the rotate script or rotate directive. I don't know how you want to call it. And the other one is the wait. Okay, is the wait directive. So these are used a lot in our code and in our scripts. Are used a lot. So I had to convert those because otherwise most of our scripts were not properly working. So sometimes the NPC arrives into a place. So imagine a guard that is walking, next to a gate, and then he has to rotate to position himself, with the gate at his back. Right. So this rotation is done at the end of the movement, and then there is a wait directive which is used. For example, for the NPC to just look around a bit and then move. So maybe we'll wait in a location like 5-10 seconds and then it will move away, right? So those two are basically everywhere in our scripts, and so I had to implement and fix. and I have to say that it's done, which is nice. So both of those are working okay. Now you may say, okay, can you show me? Yes, I can show you. I can show you how it works. I mean, I can show you the sample path and the armquest, which is moving along this path properly and is rotating along this path properly. And also is rotating with a kind of a smooth rotation. Unfortunately, it's not walking. I mean, it's not really walking while rotating, but I think for now it's okay. And we'll find a better way to have him rotate. Hello people. I see more people are joining the stream. Welcome to the stream. If you are new to the stream, we are developing an MMO step by step. We already developed it in the previous game, in a previous engine, I mean, and now we are implementing it again in a new engine, in a real engine actually. And the reason we are moving from the old engine to the new is that the old engine was no more maintained and too old. The name of the engine was Crystal Space, which was made by an international group of people, but mostly by a Belgian guy named Jorrit. And also we contributed to the engine for what we could. But it's an engine that now is basically abandoned. So we couldn't evolve the game anymore. And so we decided to migrate the game to Unreal Engine. I think it was a very good decision. Well, I don't know, depending how you see it, but depending from the free time availability, I mean, definitely it was not a good decision. But no, but for the game, I think it was a good decision. So we can have we can have fun developing the game in Unreal. Okay, so what I want to show you is that I created a path. If I do path show, you will see it. So there is a path which at the moment is using this dummy object just to show how the path is. Then we can change obviously the object, make it more fancy. We can make it, I don't know, as you want, with particle effects and shiny. But at the moment it's a very simple cylinder. So the one in red is a waypoint. Waypoint being a location that is a target, a destination target for the NPC. Also, it can be named and it can have multiple aliases, so you can associate to this particular point, for example, a location where the NPC goes to work or goes home and things like that. And then you have the yellow one, which is just a point between two waypoints. Which is just a connection, right? And then you have this white kind of bar or whatever, white indicator, which is just the connection between the waypoints. Okay, and so as you can see, what I did here, I created a waypoint which starts from where this NPC is, which is supposed to be our blacksmith. Now is completely looking completely different, but don't mind about that. And it is the waypoint, is exactly where it is. And then I implemented two other waypoints, one which is just here along the walkway and one at the beginning of the stairs, right? And I created that just by using the commands here in the console. Now, he has a specific trigger to let him walk across this path. Consider that this path is not visible to him and is not visible to players. Okay, so this path is just debug information. So I can remove it. So if I do path hide, it will disappear. But for now, let's keep it on so you see what this guy is doing. Okay. So to ask him to go, so I'm doing it now. So I'm asking him to go to the temple, which is okay. It's not exactly the temple. To go to the top of the stairs, and as you can see, is walking down. Now he did a bit of he had a small problem, but I will tell you why later on. You see that it's working okay. One time he stopped here, I don't know why, like if it was blocked by something, but it works okay. He arrives here, and at the moment you see he rotates, he waits 5 seconds, and then he rotates again, right? And you see that it's working pretty well. So now he completed his job, right? And his job is actually described in a script that we have here, which is associated to, assuming I'm in the right database, yes I am, and assuming I'm selecting, yes, it's go to temple. That is the script that is basically allowing him to do what you just saw. So is the location of a waypoint, which at the moment is called Lang's Temple, but okay, just the name, which is the point at the top of the stair. Then he decides to move. Then when he arrives to the location, he rotates to this particular rotation, 185. Then he waits 5 minutes, and then he rotates again to 40 degrees, right? 5 seconds, and then 40 degrees, and it is basically completed, right? So this is just a simple one, but it's to show that is basically to show that it's working properly, right? That is working properly. Now, if I ask him to do it again, so that is the trick, because if I ask him to do it again, considering that at the moment these waypoints are not using pathfinding, but are just going basically in a pretty much in a straight line. What happens is he will not be able to go back home unless I name his home as something and I have a specific behavior telling him to go there. So I think if I issue it again, let me try, but if I issue again the go to temple, it may kind of mess up. Yes, because he sees that he's already there. Actually, yeah, I think what it did, he sees he's already there, and so basically what it did, what we can do, we can try to move him maybe, and see if I put it in a kind of a random place like here. I mean, it should be kind of along the path, because if it's not along the path, there is another problem, right? But which we should solve another day, not now. But if I teleport him to me, right? And so, for example, he's here now, and I ask him to go to the temple again. You see that he is calculating the path that is missing, so he's not restarting from the beginning, so he knows that he's in the middle of it, and so he goes here and reach the point and rotates, right? Now the reason why he's not exactly on the point, for example now, is because we have a concept of radius. So each of these waypoints have a radius associated, which at the moment I'm not rendering, but maybe hello Pizzik, welcome. It's a long time I don't see you. Welcome. So we have a radius associated to the path point, which now here is not really shown, but I think we can add it fairly easily. And so imagine that in reality, okay, and let me take a screenshot and explain you what I mean. Let me open a new one, which is probably easier. So actually this waypoint has a specific range around it, which I guess would be probably something like this, right? Something like this, most likely, yeah, center in the middle of that, which is the radius of the waypoint, which is allowing the NPC to choose a random point in this range and use it as a target, right? And why we did it? Well, we did it because we had the feeling that having NPC move exactly always on the same path points and the same points and arriving always in the same location would made it look a bit too much like robots, and so and so we added some randomness, right? The only important thing that you have to ensure is that if you are making a circle that is big like this, when the NPC is coming from here from the left, is not going to hit any obstacles. Otherwise, you will not be able for him to reach it, or it will be a bit harder. There is a concept of sliding, so the NPC will try to slide a bit if he has a small obstacle in front of him. But we are not using, in this case, we are not using pathfinding, so we are keeping the movement as straight, as simple, and computationally lean or computationally light as much as we can. So yeah, so this is how it works. Now, to know exactly the radius of this thing, I think we can try to select it, because there is actually a command which is path select, which, by the way, I think I can change to right click one day. But as you can see, I don't know if it's very visible on your screen, but also because this red on black, I would say it was not the best decision. But what he's saying is saying selected path IDLA 11L, so which is the name of this path, I guess. Yes, IDLA 11L. At a range of 0. Now it's not telling me. Can I select the waypoint? No, it's selecting the path. Let me check if I do path info. Path info is a bit more verbose. Which is interesting. So it's saying, radius. So found waypoint IL at radius 2. So yes, 2 meters of radius at the moment. Right, it's 2 meters of radius. Flags, etc., etc., etc. Okay. Now here we have some print, some bad print. You see these Chinese characters is because is invalid memory. Something we are not printing up well. Okay, what we can do, we can change this to be to show the radius. Okay, because I think also the points have a radius, right? I think also the points have a radius. I think everything should have a radius of 2 at the moment. Start from point, blah, blah, blah. I don't remember, but I think also the points. Let me check in the database. I think if I go under SCPAT points, now the point seems not to have a radius. Strange. Okay. So it's only the waypoints. Only the waypoints that have a radius. Okay, I was thinking for some reason that also the path points have a radius. Maybe they have an automatic radius, or okay. Anyway, yeah. So we may try to visualize, the radius of this thing. Let me just check one thing. If I bring this guy here, which is not a waypoint, I think he will struggle. Let me try to bring this guy here. Okay, so now he's here, and I want to do the same thing. So he's not on a waypoint. Okay, he's trying to go to the closest waypoint, but considering he's not using pathfinding at the moment because I disabled it by purpose, you see he's just trying to reach the first waypoint, which is up there, but he cannot do it. He's trying desperately. Okay, now it did it. Okay, it did it. So it took him a bit, but it did it. I'm just checking if seems to be no radius here. Yeah, but you see that there is a bit of a radius here as well, because you see he's not going to this point, but he went here, he arrived here, and now here he arrived there. So it seems there is a radius also for the path point. Now what I don't remember is, let me just check it, but I'm pretty sure there is. So the problem is finding where. Is finding where. Well, should be inside. Should be not in script operation, but should be or in wander or in move operation. So okay. Wander operation. I think wander operation advance is. Yes, is here. The move to is then going to move to. Now there is a point where we are randomizing. Let me just find where is that thing. Current point offset. I think it's this thing. Current point offset. If I remember right, this is the randomization. I just don't remember if this one is done once for all the path points or it's just generated randomly every time they move. Current point offset. Add random range, you see? Current path point, get radius. Okay. 0.5, I don't know what is it. But this is the function. Yeah. So there is the function that is just randomizing, you know. The only thing I see is that it's taking the radius. Okay, so it's randomizing based on the radius. Yeah. So I think the calculation should already be okay. I'm just trying to get if it's done also for the path points or not. I mean for the points that are in the middle. Current path point get radius. This get radius is yeah, but you see that it works also for non-path points, because it's saying if it's a waypoint, get the radius of the waypoint, otherwise just return the radius. So actually the radius seems to be the radius of this path point extrapolated. Yeah, I just don't remember if the radius is calculated automatically or not for the path points. I think so. Well, we can get it when we are loading the network. I think inside the when we are loading the network of all the paths, right? If I search here radius, hopefully, list, but it should be in the load. I mean, create waypoint. Yeah, it should be when we are loading from the database, right? Here we are loading from the database. We are selecting from the database all the waypoints. There is at the startup of the server when it's going to read all the path points, and I'm trying to understand if a waypoint to group, new waypoint load, I think is here. But I want to know, I mean, here for sure is reading the radius, so that's easy. I want to know when he's creating the links exactly, which is here, and when he's creating the sub path points. which I think is here, exactly here. Is exactly here. Yes, here is selecting the path point. Now I start to know a bit better this code. Starting to move a bit better around it. And yes, here is where it's loaded. So we need to see if here or the constructor, but I don't think it's the constructor. But let's see. Or the constructor or the load are actually assigning a radius to our point. It starts with a radius of 0. Okay. It starts with a radius of 0. It cannot load a radius because it's not present in the. So it'd be interesting to know then how he decides to assign a radius to the point. Maybe just makes it, just makes it random of 1 meter or something. Because here is not assigning any specific radius, huh? So it basically has a radius of 0. But okay, okay, fine. So how do we visualize the radius? So the first thing we need to see is if our I think it's under NPC behave. No. I have to check if our PS effect, PS path effect, no, PS path effect, should be PS path effect, no? PS path effect, I don't remember how I called it, but there is a structure dedicated to that. Hello guys, thanks for joining. Where is it? Let me just, well, the easiest way for me is to do this, to search, if I search slash path when it's implemented, yes, and I go into inside handle path, and okay, if I go inside of this, when we send the receive, when we send yeah, moving inside this code is also okay, this is inside of this. I call it PS effect path, not path effect. Okay, so we need to see if this structure, yes, actually has two radiuses, has the radius start and has the radius end. Okay, which is nice. I don't understand exactly the difference. Don't remember why we have two radiuses. There is a min and max, or let me see. When we send out the waypoint, if it's a waypoint, we just get the radius. We just use one. You see that the second one is never used. It's always 0. So okay. Anyway, is the radius start? Okay, and I'm assuming that the radius start is in meters. Okay. So what we should do if we launch the editor, we can make our basic waypoint exactly 1 meter in radius, and then we will scale it based on, let me see if in the data, while it's loading, let me see if in the database we have, well, we always have radius 2. I mean, I think I can vary it a bit just for just for sake of so let's do maybe 1 is 1 meter, 1 is, or let's try to do one which is pretty small. Let's do a 0.5. Okay. Okay. I cannot do 0.5. Radius is an integer. Oh my. Seriously? Could be. Yeah, radius is an integer. Okay. That's a bad idea. But anyway, it was done this way, so I don't want to change it now, but obviously radius should not be an integer, because if I want to do 0.5, I cannot do it. It's very stupid. Okay, so I think we have no many options. We have 1, 2, and 2. So I don't want to go too big, because if I go 3, I think it will. I think maybe the one in the middle I could go 3. Let me see. The one in the middle. I think there is enough space. There is enough space here. Even if 3 may go below the stairs, right? So if it will be here, it will be not a great idea, because then it will have a hard time going up. So I think we're gonna have 1, 2, and 2. Yeah, 1, 2, and 2 seems to be the best. Where 1 is so this is number 10, and this one is, I think this one is 20, or that one is 11. Okay, so the 20 can be 1, because it's the smallest one, which is inside a building, and the other 2. Yeah, then we will need to change this to be a float. Makes no sense that is an integer, really. I don't know why we were thinking integer here. Okay, so we changed it a bit. We changed it a bit. Now let me change the way that object is working. So let's do it on the waypoint first. Now I think we should do it on both, actually. Assuming that the radius is coming up for both, I would like to do it for both. So the way to do it is to have this cylinder to be exactly 1 meter, right? Which I guess is 1 block, should be. So if I scale it horizontally for x and y to reach exactly 1 meter, so this will be 4.5 and 4.5, right? This will be 1 meter radius, right? Let me just test if it's really 1 meter, but what happened? Because there is the perspective fucking me up. Okay, let me just check. So here we are at 0, 0, 0. If I go here is 100. Yes, it's 1 meter. So I need to reach the border, right? So I think it would be 10. I don't know how big I did it. Yeah, it's 10. Okay, with 10 we basically reach the border. I mean, it's not exactly at the border, but it's okay. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, we can do 10.1. I don't know. 10.2. Yeah, something like 10.2. Okay. 10.2, I think we're pretty much at the border. Okay, so now it will be a bit annoying because it's pretty big, but it's 1 meter. Is 1 meter radius, right? And I think the best will be to have this thing a bit transparent, because having it like this would not allow us to see inside. So I don't know if we have any better material that we can use, which is slightly transparent, like a glass or something. Let me try if there is any glass material. Glass stained. What the hell is this? No, this is the glass of the it is the glass of the mosaic of the winch. Glass, unfortunately, is no glass. We have a glyph azure material, but I think we need to make a material that is lightly transparent. We can make one. I mean, I think we can make one. We can keep the red one, but make a new material. Why not? We can make a new material which is slightly transparent. I think it's just a matter of changing the opacity. So let me create a new material. Maybe let me create a new material out of an existing texture. So the one that we were using was what? Was this one? I like this one. Is archive01. Okay. Archive01, which is using on the diffuse archive02. Okay, it's using this thing. Fine. So if I go to archive02 and I create a new material out of this, and I will call it admin path admin waypoint material, right? And then we move it admin waypoint material, and then we will move it to our game master directory. I think is the best place. Move here, yes. And just we will make it slightly transparent. So I think I just need to make this not opaque but translucent. Yeah, so we'll enable the opacity, and then for the opacity I think I can just have a constant. Do I create a constant? I don't remember. Wasn't 1 or 2 or 0? No? Wasn't 1 creating a constant? No? Okay. I remember that 1 was creating a constant, but probably not. Okay, so we go like 0.5 and we put it in the opacity. I think should be enough. Yeah, so now it would be slightly transparent, right? Kind of somehow transparent. I don't know if 0.5 is too much. And this material is called admin waypoint material. Maybe it's a bit too much. I think it's okay. Let's try it like this and see how it looks in game. Okay, so now this thing is 1 meter radius, right? So let me close the game because anyway we will have to reload everything. By the way, if you have any questions, please just ask, don't worry. When I'm on stream, I already know that I can get question, comments, or anything else, so it's exactly the reason why I'm streaming. So there's no issue. Don't be shy. Just interact. So we have this, and what we want to do now is to go where we receive the information about the path points, which should be inside player controller, and we should have a function, which I think is this one, yes, because it's the last one I worked on, which is receiving all the information about the path from the server. And this one is actually spawning the actor, and as you can see, is scaling the actor in case is a segment. Now we want to scale also in the case is a waypoint, and then we will do the other one. So in this case I want to split the structure spin. I want to keep the Z exactly as it is, so the scaling here will be 1 for the Z, but for the X and the Y I want to get the radius, which hopefully is in one of these variables. Yes, is this one. So I want to scale the wait a second, don't do stupid stuff. This one is the rotation. Okay, so the rotation should have no change. Speaking about the scale here. Okay, so let me split the scale. For the scale we want to use the radius start from the X and for the Y. Okay, and I think we can do the same thing also for the admin path, right? So we split the scale and split the scale. I need a bit more space here. And we take the radius start and we put it in the X and in the Y. And the Z we leave it as 1 because we don't want this thing to go higher than what it is today. Okay, so I think this will do it already. If the radius is coming in correct, it should do it already. It should already be enough, you know, to display the okay, so now let me just change also the other one, otherwise it will not scale properly. So let me change also the second one, which is our admin path point. Okay. And our admin path point, should we create a new material for this one as well? I think so. So let me go to the amulet. The amulet is this one. Is using this texture as a sample. So let's create a new material for it, and we will call it admin point material. Admin point material. Okay. We add it and we move it in our game master view. Move here. And okay. Now we want to change this to have exactly the same opacity. So get a new constant of 0.5 and I put it here inside opacity, and this should do it, right? I save it, and then we assign our admin path point material admin point material to this object, right? So this object is now using the new material, which is lightly transparent, which I think is better. Okay, so this one I saved, I guess, yes. So also this one we need the same treatment. So we need oops, where am I? Lost myself. Also this one we need, you know, the same thing. So I need to expand it to be I think we did 10.2. I think it should work the same. If I do 10.2 and 10.2, I think it should be, yeah, exactly. So I think that is fine. So we save it. I don't know if we want it to be that big, I mean that high. Maybe we can reduce it a bit. It's true that it's very visible from distance, but I don't know if we really want it to be that high. Let's try this one a bit lower. I mean, actually half the sides, and see if it's good enough. Tony is asking if the NPC will disappear in their houses again because they will travel with it. Well, that was by design. I mean, it was not that they were disappearing because, you know, the game was bugged or anything else. It's just they were disappearing because they had their daily cycle and their night cycle, and so they are actually going to sleep. So you cannot expect an NPC to be available 24 hours if it's, you know, in a world which is trying to mimic a real world, or anyway, it's trying to be a role-playing world. So yeah, I understand it's much easier for the players if the NPC are always standing there like puppets, but I don't like it too much. So I think we need to find the right balance. You know, so we need to find the right balance between NPC that are available all the time, and I think that at the end the decision from the team was that the NPC that were really needed all the time, they were there. So we decided that the ones that were like the introductory NPC, like in the tutorial area and in the initial area, they would be always available. but the ones that were a bit more like in medium and advanced areas would disappear, so, or would have their own cycle. Now we didn't develop it too much, but the idea was to have really two different set of NPC, day and night. Um, so that maybe you find thieves at night and guards during the day. I don't know. I mean, like you have two different game experience between day and night. That was the original idea. Then, unfortunately, with the limited time that we have and limited resources that we have, maybe it came out a bit, annoying because the NPC are not available. But that was the original idea. Okay, so we changed this. We changed the radius and the sides, and we plugged in the radius. So let's just see what happens. Okay, I think it should already do something different compared to before. So let me just relaunch the server and the client. Considering that we already plugged in the radiuses, it should be fine. And also we see how the translucent or transparent. What is the difference between translucent and transparent, by the way, in English? I have no idea. I have no idea. Translucent. Traslucent in Italian. Okay. Oh my god, this cookie thing is so annoying. Reject everything, thank you. If an object or substance is translucent, it's almost transparent, allowing some light through in an attractive way. Okay, and transparent. Sometimes it's transparent, you can see through very clearly. Okay, so transparent should be more clear than translucent. I'm not sure. Transparent versus translucent. You see, someone asked the same question. What is the difference? What is the difference? I don't know, it's too long to read it. But anyway, there is the explanation there, okay? Okay, so let's see what happens if I show the path now. Boom. Holy moly. Well, I think it's a bit too transparent or translucent, but I can see it. I think it actually worked, by the way. I don't know if we should make it double-sided or not, but if you can see it, yeah, it's a bit maybe too transparent, but there is the radius, and there is the radius as well. So there is a radius of 2 associated. I think it's the same radius, right? Or is it a radius of 1? I think it's a radius of 2. Is this radius bigger than the other one, or are the same? I'm gonna move this thing for a second. Do you think these two are the same, or one is bigger? I think they are 2 meters each. No? No, this one looks smaller than. I think it's 1 meter. Yeah, the transparency doesn't help too much, though. I mean, the transparency is too much. But you see, for example, this one is smaller, right? Because this one we said it was only 1 meter. So actually, being only 1 meter is small enough, for him not to clash with other areas. Hopefully, while this one, in theory, well, is already kind of going after the stair. No, he's arriving exactly at the stair level, so it's perfect. He's arriving exactly here. So this 2 meters we can afford, right? But we can have other areas in the plaza, for example, that it can be 5 meters or whatever. It can be much bigger area. So just to prove you this, maybe we can try to create another path that goes from here down. Okay, let's try. So to do this, I need to do I need to do the following. I need to do path format idla percentage d starting from 30 because I think we don't have anything. Okay. Then I need to do slash path start, and this one will try to look if I'm in the middle of it. Okay. Okay, then I need to add 1 point, well, maybe I can add 1 point at the top of the stair. Because, yeah, let's add 1 point here just for safety, okay? So we will add 1 point here in the stair level. So I will do add, no, path point add, I think is the right syntax, yes. Then we will add a point down here, right, like here, which seems to be a good point. And then we will add a waypoint which is here in the middle, which it can be pretty big, right? So I will do slash path stop. Okay. So if I do path hide and path show now, I think they should appear. Yeah, there it is. There it is. The only thing I didn't change at the moment is the radius of this thing. But as you can see, we have our new path, which is going here, and then it's going there, and then it's going here. Yeah. Now let me see if we can modify the radius of this thing. I never did it, so most likely the code will crash, but I think there is kind of an adjust. There should be an adjust command. Let me just see if I find it. There is a move, a select, a split, a remove, a rename. But I think there is also an adjust or a edit or something. Point insert, point remove, point add, format, radius. Okay, there is a radius command. I think that is the one that we need. Radius command is just changing the radius, okay, of the one that I'm on. Okay, it should be fine. Set radius, new radius. Okay, let's try. So if I go on this one, at the moment it's 2 meters, and I go slash path radius, maybe 5 is a bit too much. I don't know. You can try 5, but let's try this 2 meters. Let's try 4. Radius 4. Waypoint 30 updated with new radius 4. Okay. Let's do a path hide and a path show. Wow. Yeah, it actually works. Now the transparency doesn't help too much, but I think we need this thing to be double-sided. Otherwise, I mean, we can create a better geometry for the. Because not being double-sided is a bit annoying because I don't see, if I'm here, I don't see, the fact that it's here around me. So can I make it double-sided easily? That's a good question. Can I make it double-sided easily? Well, first of all, I will make it a bit more, so I will make it 0.75 instead of 0.5 because I think it's too transparent actually. And the same for the other guy. And the same for this one. Then it would be nice if I could make it double-sided. If I can make it double-sided, but I don't think I can. I mean, I need to create a mesh for it. Because this is just a cylinder which is, you know, one side only as a default. I don't think I can. I don't think there is a way. I think I need to create a mesh in Blender for it, and well, okay, at the moment I don't want to do that. It's a setting on the material to make it double-sided. Oh, that would be very nice. It's a setting on the material. On the texture or on the two-sided? Ooh. Ooh, thank you very much. Two-sided. That will help us a lot because I don't have to change the geometry. Thank you, Panther. Fail to save, yes, because everything is open. It's pretty cool, so I don't have to go and... Otherwise I would have changed the geometry, but... I need to close the server, yes, because we are trying to save, and those assets are actually used by the game, so... so let me do it here as well. Two-sided. Very nice. But it seems that the system works okay. So let me try to now have, you know, the NPC walk down till the end. So so the only thing we need to do, we need to refresh this, and our waypoint at 4 is called Hitler 30 and is ID 16. So the only thing I need to do is to associate the alias to waypoint 16, and it will be done, right? Because now 16 in my path points, 16 is the one that yeah. So I saved it already. I saved everything. I think I saved this. I saved this. I think it should be fine. So let's restart the server and the client. Anyway, it seems to work pretty well. Now, I don't know exactly why the radius of the points, so the yellow ones, is automatically assigned, and there is no way to change it. I think it was probably for simplicity, but this may be not very good. So this may be an improvement that we do in the future, because if you have, you know, if you have a situation where if you have a situation, you know, where you have a building and whatever, you have a building here, a building there, you know, and maybe here you can move easily, but then there is like a narrow path, right? And you want your NPC to your NPC like to wander here, and then go through this. And if your points are automatically 1 meter, which maybe here will be something, will be something like this, right? Maybe it will not be good enough, you know, because in this case you want a very precise movement, and at the moment we don't have a way. It just assumes 1 meter for whatever reason, and I don't think it's a great idea. So I think we should allow the radius also on the path points. But okay, let me show again the path show. Okay, this is 75%. Okay, it looks, but it's double-sided at least. Yeah, it's much better. It is 75%. Okay, I think it's okay. I think 75 is okay. You see our new points. We have 1 point there, 1 point there, 1 point So let's have this guy move. And by the way, I think that the size that we have here is enough, so I don't think we should go so high. Let's percept Armquest, go to temple. So the guys start to go. You can check, that is choosing points within the circle, right? So it's not exactly aiming in the middle. Maybe sometimes it does, but it's not always. Like now you see it's diverging a bit from the center, so it shows a point which is like here. And here it shows a point that was like there. So yeah, it's going. Let's see, that one is pretty big. Let's see which point it chooses. I hope it doesn't choose exactly the middle. It looks like. Well, he had 4 meters range. It chose this one. I mean, anyway, it's not in the center, as you can say. The center was here, so he chose this point. Hello, man. Now, for the players, obviously, all of this will be invisible. And they will think, that the NPC is just moving on the map. Kind of naturally. Now, it's not super natural, but it's kind of natural. Okay, good. I think it works, right? I think it works. So now what I want to do, I want to switch to the real database where we have all the path points and see what happens. I want to see all the NPC move and see what the hell is going on. Does the path choose the shortest path to intersect the path point circle? Well, it's like a graph, so it's choosing. So imagine that you have, a point here, a point here, a point here. This is not a good example, unfortunately. Let me delete this. Okay. Just showing the point. Well, this is not really possible, but okay, like this. Can I click on that, please? So and assume you have a path here, right? So if you are asking the NPC, to move from here to here, he will go anyway through this waypoint. Okay, so he will anyway do this because there is no connection. But if in your path network you also modeled a connection between these two, then yes, he will choose the shortest. And then for the circle itself, it's just randomizing. For the circle, within the circle, it's just completely randomizing. I mean, there is no logic. It's just within a circle it can be anywhere. It's a random point. It's like if you want to go to the pub, and you want to go in front of the pub, but you're not always stopping in the same place. You are in the proximity of the door, but you are not always exactly in the same place. Right? And so that was the idea, just to randomize it a bit, so they look a bit different. Okay, so what I wanted to do, yes, I wanted to switch database. So if we switch the database to production, it's not exactly production, but it's close to production. So if we launch the game again, but this time with production data, now we just need to think what to enable. At the moment, in the production database, I think only very few characters are enabled. So we will, but let's start with 2. Okay, let's not go too crazy. Let's start with 2 NPC, which I think the one that are loaded now, which is Kaiman and Jafekra. And obviously, if you know that as a player, it's kind of spoiling. I mean, it's kind of a spoiler for you because you will then know how they move. But I mean, our idea was, to assume that people don't know, and so they will look a bit more natural, and we will say, I moved in a different place this time, you know. But we can improve a lot the artificial intelligence. At the moment, it's very simple, I have to say, but I'm already happy that it works. But at the moment, it's very simple. But they could do more stuff, For example, one thing that I really want is that they look at you. They turn their head looking at you. I really, really want it. Assassin's Creed teaches, right? But I really want not often, always, but randomly, sometimes they just look at you while moving. So we have to wait. The database loads up. This database is pretty big. So, by the way, I found a very nice source of video games music, and I understood from other streamers that if you're playing video games soundtrack music, usually it's not cut off by YouTube or Twitch, because maybe you are playing the game, and so the copyright doesn't bother these people too much, and so basically you can play soundtracks from games. Usually I play Plane Shift soundtrack, which is very cool, but just for fun, and I will see if it gets cut, but I don't think so. Let me play something else. I downloaded a few. I just don't remember where the hell I placed it. I'm just looking at another screen at the moment. Yes, I found it. There is one that will touch your heart immediately. Which is this one? This song, bro. This song, insane. You remember this song? Who remembers this song? Come on, gamers. You don't? I mean, no one is writing on the chat, so I'm surprised, but okay. If you don't remember it, it's okay. Hello, Dino. Welcome. Okay, so let's try to display the path here and see what happens. I think I need to change the way the mouse move is working, because I think it's very... Is the music too loud? A little bit loud. Sounds like Morrowind? No, it's the Tristam Diablo music. Diablo 1, the main city. Maybe you are too young. The main city. So if you play Diablo, I mean, whenever you were in the city, you were hearing this, and you were in the city alone. So yeah, Morrowind is another good one anyway that I can download. Okay, so let's display the path of the city. Path show. Now it will be a lot of stuff getting displayed. Yes. It is actually a lot of stuff. I think we need to make this thing lower. 20 years. Yeah, this music always touched me a bit. I mean, it was like super nice. Super nice. I think I like the fact that they are a bit lower now, because I think that at the full height they are kind of annoying. I think we can make them lower, and maybe this transparency thing, I don't know if I want to keep it. But okay, so this guy can do a number of things, and I would like to see if now he's doing it okay. So we will percept Jafekra patrol winch gate. Which I guess is the longest path he can do. Do you want to see it with or without the... You want to see it with or without the thingies? You can keep the thingies, but... Let's go on. Yeah, the footsteps we need to change based on the terrain below. We will. Oh, this one is lit by the... This circle is lit by the thingy. Maybe we should not have it affected by lights. It's okay. You see, it's moving well anyway. I mean, it's moving okay. I think we can load the whole set of NPC and see what happens. I think it will do the whole cycle without issues. Hopefully. But he's a guard, so he's like walking exactly in the middle. Because you want to respect the rules, you know? Yeah, this is the same location that we were testing on the other map. On the other database, I mean. Maybe we can check it a bit without that for a second. So it looks slightly more natural. We just see a guy walking instead of that mess of circles and lines. So we'll go here and then we'll go to the left. Oops, sorry. Let me see if I can play another song. This one you will not know probably. No, maybe you will. Maybe you will know this song. Oh my god, also this song, it brings me so much memories. Seems to be working okay anyway. Our guy is walking like a boss. He's working pretty well. He's rotating a bit, but it's okay. Also, this song you don't remember, eh? It's just because you are too young, you know? That's the problem. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-bam. It's moving very well, huh? It's working perfectly. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. Oh, oh, oh! It disappeared. Where the hell he went? I distracted myself 1 second, it disappeared. Where is he? We can teleport to him. He's actually here. But for some reason he became invisible. I have no idea why. I cannot make him visible. So he's kind of here but not here at the same time. Now unfortunately we were not debugging him, so I don't think I have a lot of information of what happened exactly. Anyway, StarCraft, yeah, StarCraft's Wings of Liberty. The StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty. I also have the StarCraft 1, maybe, I don't know if you play StarCraft 1. This one. This one is the main team of StarCraft 1. It's coming. But we lost our guy, disappeared, boys. Completely disappeared. I mean, in theory he's here. Because if we teleport to him, I'm teleporting here. So something went bad. The question is why he became invisible. What is the time of the day? Time show. The time is 6. Ah, fuck, it's 6:14. Then our server went nuts. I know why. I know why. Unfortunately, we have an issue. No, but it's the other database. In fact, it's going on. And because we have an issue at 6, that something happens that makes the server go crazy. I don't know exactly. At 6 a.m. in the morning. I don't know why. Let me just check the definition for our NPC, what he was supposed to do. So actually we asked them to NPC types of production database, where name, I think it's in the guard script. Here we are in the production database, so there is way more stuff, so it's a bit harder to debug because it's the whole thing. But like this is the script. These are the scripts for the guards. I think it's inside of this. I think it's inside of this, and the one that we were executing was patrol winch gate, and the 600. So let me see which path point is here, okay? Because we can see it. So path show, because I can right click and get the name. So this one is 596. So 596. So it's not in this list, by the way. Okay. 596. Let me check because I have another map where I have all the waypoint. Yeah, that's 596. 589. 590. 590 is at the bottom of the state. Ah, wait. So he finished this one. This one was fully finished because he arrived at the bottom of the state, which is 590. So he went back to where he was, but then after he finished this, you see, there is a percept event don't patrol Winchgate. So when he finished to patrol this, he goes into this mode, and this mode, can I search it here? No. I don't have a search function in this mess. Huh? Okay, I can put it into a notepad or something. Let me put it in this one, which is perfect. So when he's done patrolling the gate, which is this, is doing this. And this one is only here? No, it's impossible. No, but there must be another one. This must be another one. Maybe he's in his own. Let me check. Maybe he's in his own brain. Ah, yes. You see, when he's done patrolling the Winchgate, he starts to patrol the Octarch home cadence. Okay, which I don't know exactly where is it, but I guess it's in the same file, often the same. Yes, it's here. So what he tried to do was, well, it was pretty simple though. It was waypoint. So you know what we can try to do? We can reposition him and then try to execute this one and see why it failed. Now the problem is that it disappeared. Maybe it teleported. Let me see if it teleported to his own place. No, because his own place would be here, but he's not there. So he's still invisible, this guy. He's still invisible. Yeah, he's still invisible here. Strange that if I do set Jefekra invisible, it doesn't appear, you know? Invisibility has been disabled. Why? Let me try to teleport him to me. Teleport Jefekra me. Okay, in theory is on top of me now. But again, I cannot see him. There is something. I think NPC reload is not working yet. I think I never tested it. Not target specified. Invalid sector. I don't know what it's saying. But anyway, our guy disappeared. Well, or we launch again everything and then we just try to have him do the other path. But something happened. So for some reason, at this step, so when he was here, he tried to go upstairs here, and or in this step, or somehow he kind of fucked up. Can I impersonate him? No, it's not ported. Impersonate is not ported, I think. Anyway, I don't have any way to recover him at the moment. I can try to percept him with something. So let me try to percept him with percept Jufekra, and let's try to do this one. It's a long name though. Patrol Octar Om Karas. Wow. Patrol Octar. One thing that we can do, we can debug him though. We can debug NPC Jufekra 20, so at least we see what he's doing. He's actually trying to rotate. Okay. He's trying to rotate and he cannot do it. Now the question is why he's trying to rotate. Guard Cada Plaza. So he actually went to another behavior. He went to another behavior for some reason. Guard Cada Plaza left. Yes, this one is inside this behavior. His brain is inside this behavior. And is locating the waypoint work. And then is rotating absolute 241. Okay. Okay. And he's stuck there. Seems the rotation in this case did not work. No, actually, he restarted moving now. He's moving now. He's moving now. I don't know, he's doing so much stuff, but I cannot see him. That's the problem. In theory, he's here. But again, I cannot see him. Why? I cannot see him. I cannot see him. But he's moving again, huh? He's going around. He's going around, but he's going around invisible. And I cannot make him visible. Holy moly. You know what I can do? I can... I'm just simulating, you know, a normal... Yeah, now he's here. Now he's walking down this path. I'm just simulating, you know, what happens if at runtime, you know, you get a problem like this and you need to reset the NPC, and what do you do? Well, I think the reload command is the one that we would do. But he's actually moving, we just don't see him. What about that we just, you know, we just call the one when he's waking up from work, and so it becomes visible. It's not colliding, but I can see the capsule for sure. That's a good idea. If I do show collision, and then I teleport to him. Should be here, but I don't see him. And I don't see his capsule. I think the actor is invisible, so probably the capsule is invisible as well, you know. Let me try to have him do something where he becomes visible. I think it is... Does he have a home? No, this guy doesn't have a home. No, so I think we cannot. We have to understand why he became invisible, because I have no idea. It should not happen. Well, is taken from diurnal, and let me check. Maybe there is a way. Guard. No, it's only taken from guard, and guard is not taken from anything else. Guard is taken from citizen, and citizen is taken from citizen, which no. With this guy we cannot win over this guy. There's no chance. He's gone. He's a ghost forever. He has some issue rotating though. You see the rotation? He's saying he's trying to rotate and he kind of fucks up. Rotate to 58 degrees, remaining minus 183. Why? Is there a rotation? Is there a rotation in this? Yes, there was a rotation. Is this rotation that is fucking up for some reason. Rotate type 241. Now in our example, this one is fucking him up anyway, yeah? It's not working. This one is not working. This one is not working. In our example, in the other database, I think we had 2 rotations, right? I just want to see if the rotation that we had were similar or not. Rotate type absolute. So the one that we tested looks like this. The one that is trying to do looks like, yeah, it's the same apart from the angle, but I assume that the angle is not a problem. I assume. Anyway, he fucked up with that. Okay, let him go. I mean, I don't care. I mean, we will have to understand why, but let's try with another NPC. We have another NPC, yeah? Let me just disable collision. I mean, visibility. If I teleport me to Kaiman, we have another guy here, which is this guy, okay? Which is the guy that goes to the library. And percept Kaiman go Jayo's shop. Go shop Jayo's, and I don't remember if it's one or the other. Yeah, it's go shop Jayo's, okay. So this guy's going. Now, let me debug him so that we, so let me set the debug NPC Jefekra 0. So the other guy is out of debug now, and this one is in debug. So if something very bad happens, we can check the log and see if he's having trouble moving. Should not. I didn't download too many songs, but I can see if I have something else. Play file. Let me see. This one. By the way, this part of the city is the old houses, so we will fix it. Good night, Pizik. Bye bye. It's moving okay anyway. It's moving okay. I think it's moving okay, so I think that the NPC are moving okay. Now, I don't know why that guy became invisible and why, you know, but okay, let's try to enable more NPC and see what happens. I'm a bit surprised that the rotation failed. Let me reduce the height of this waypoint. I think 4 is more than enough. Okay, so to enable the other NPC, To enable the other NPC, we can just go to the database here under characters. Do I have a character table open? Yes. And I think we can, in NPC spawn rules, which is here, we can enable, I don't know if I want to enable them all, but we can enable maybe all the one that are in the main sector. All the ones with sector ID 15, which is this one. So we can do update plane shift prod dot characters set NPC spawn rule equal to 1 where lock sector ID equal to 15 and character type equal to 1, which basically means NPC only, not players. 43, okay, so 43 NPC. Two are committed the fixed houses, okay, nice, and it's fixing the rest of the material. Okay, no hurry, no problem. I can use it as it is. Okay, let's launch it again and see now with a lot of NPC what happens. Well, 43, I mean it's not a lot, but it's something. There are NPC which have races which are not available, maybe? I don't know, we will see. We need to wait the database server to go up. It will take a bit. It'll actually take a bit. It's loading up. Okay, we already see a number of failure to move, teleport. Okay, some of the 43 have some issues in moving. There is the music of Ezio Auditore. Beautiful game. Okay, let's see. We should have NPC in here, at least all the ones. Actually, the races should be fine. The equipment, unfortunately, not. I think. I don't know. We should check if they load the equipment or not. But probably not. This footstep starts to make me mad. These footsteps start to be annoying. This guy, Darfan, yeah. This guy, oh man. What time is it now? Time show is 9 in the morning. Okay, it's 9:20 in the morning. So something in theory may happen. She is here but without hair. I want to see some more movement. We can switch the time, you know, to like 10. Ah, someone is moving. Hello? Who are you? Who are you? Shit. It's Tarela. No, it's Talisa. Talisa Tamaris. She actually has hair, so some traits are working, some other are not. Maybe are the default traits that are not working. I mean, the default are working, and if there is any customization. Maybe she's moving around. You found a forum where people were asking if you could cut the grass in a real life? Yeah, well, you could, yes. You can change the mesh. I mean, you can have like an attack something, and then you can change the mesh and do a particle of the. Yeah, also you can. Yes, you can. Everything is possible. Everything is possible. Anyway, it seems to me that the NPC are working. Now, I will have to debug it a bit more, but the fact that that lady started to walk was very nice to see, and I don't know if our guards, like the one that we were following before, now is doing something. No, he's standing here. But he's invisible again. You see, this guy tend to be invisible a lot. Why is he invisible again? And by the way, it seems I cannot make him visible again. When he's invisible, he stays invisible, this guy. It can be related to... Also, his other friend is invisible. If I did it server only, I don't know. I think don't remember, but I think I mean, if I take any other NPC, I think it's working. So if I take one that is visible, let me try. But it was working. If I take this guy and I set him invisible, set Cayman invisible. You see, it disappears, and it is only server side. I mean, it is done through the server. And if I set him invisible again, he appears. So I don't know. It's a bit weird. Like certain characters, the characters are always the same. I mean, are all using the same blueprint, right? So, well, that's not exactly true. They are using the same father blueprint, but anyway. So it seems that there are certain characters that are, maybe it's the race making the difference. Yeah, maybe it's the race. Maybe it's the race, because those two guards are both Enki. Are both Enki. Show me another Enki. Maybe is the specific blueprint that is fucked up. Character. If I do where location ID, where log sector ID equal to 15, which are all the one that I loaded, right? And well, I should also end character type, yes, equal to 1, right? So it's only NPC. Let me check the races. So race number 1 is the male Enki. So this one is invisible, this one is invisible. Let me go to Crystal and we see, okay? Let me teleport to Crystal. Teleport me Crystal. Now, for example, this guy is visible. This guy is visible, is the same race, so it's the same blueprint of the other ones. Let me see if I set him, set Crystal invisible. Yes, it disappears, and he appears. Now, there is something fucked up with those two. I think it could be their brain, you know, that in the brain they have, because we have some diurnal, nocturnal kind of things, and gender, no. No, because they are both male. I think it's in their brain, is they think they are ghosts, they think they are invisible. Because we have some concept of nocturnal and diurnal, some go to bed, some disappear. So maybe there is something in their scripts. We can check others and see if anyone like Narwin. Let's go Narwin, for example. Teleport me Narwin. Where is this guy? This guy is invisible as well. This guy is invisible as well. This guy is invisible as well. That's strange. And when they are invisible, there is no way for me. But I can I info him? Can I info? No, because if I do /info, it says no target. Unfortunately. I need to target him before I can, and I cannot target him because he's not here, I guess, because I don't see him. Set Narwin invisible. No, there are some NPC that are fucked up. It would be interesting to know why. Tarela. But it happened to me a few times. You know what we can do? Also, she's invisible. You know what we can do? We can just print out, because we are switching visibility, you know, and we can just print out when we are switching the on PS character there is a set visibility flag, and we can well, first I can launch it in debug mode and see when they become invisible and why. But here there is a set visibility, and I think it's a single point of entry, you know. I think that we don't do it anywhere else, so he has to go through this. Yes, this one. And then there's a sec actor hidden in game, is the one that is going also client side. I think he has a multicast and whatever. He's doing all he has to do, I think. Set hidden. This is already inside actor. Yeah, this is already inside actor. So we're already in a real engine there. So this is already in a real engine call. So, and I've seen that this one is changing the boolean hidden in game, and the boolean hidden in game is replicated to all the clients automatically. It's one of the things that is already replicated, so I don't have to touch anything and it works. Now, it seems that some characters are going through this and they are becoming invisible, so maybe, you know what, we will just relaunch everything, but this time in debug mode, and I want to see why. I want to see or we can just add also a debug thing, but let me see. If I launch the server debug mode, I think it will go through this a lot of times, and we can see all the entry points. So why is going through that? It's building something. I don't know why it's building. I didn't do any changes. Because the editor is open. Fuck. Okay. Anyway, I prefer to avoid the hot reload compilation, but it's always messing up something. I'm playing another track of the Assassin's Creed 2. At the moment, it's still loading the rules information. It will come to the NPC at the end. And so when it's loading the NPCs. By the way, if you are new to the stream, please follow on Twitch and subscribe on YouTube. It will help me. Thank you. And if you want to contribute to the game, you can you can go to Patreon, which is Patreon/Planeshift, and if you want, you can get access to our supporters channel and have special videos that I make sometimes with a summary of the developments and get highlights and such. So if you want to support the game development, thank you. So it is one of the things. So it came through this. Let me see who came here. So is inside character load. Set visibility, which by default is setting the visibility to true. So I don't know which character is at the moment. We can check just character name. Okay, it's one NPC, but you see the default for Alina is that is visible. So default to visible. So something else happens. So let me go through. So this Bevon is another guy. Visible through, visible through, visible through. So all this, I think it will go through the whole list. And we always be through. Maybe what we can do, we can add conditional thingy, and we can say param visible equal to false. Right? So that it will only trigger now when there is a false. Okay, so during the loading, it never enter into this function with a false. Strange now. So we never came through this. Okay. By himself, Freela. Okay, Frida came here as invisible. Okay, why? Got visibility for entity, blah blah blah. Enter command visibility. Okay, seems to be a script, so it's coming from a script. It's coming from a script, so there is a script in his brain which is telling her to go invisible. Now we need to understand. We need to understand which script is this. Where do I know the name of the behavior I need? No, the name. Yeah, I need the name of the behavior. So if I do this, Frila to home. Okay, so Frila to home. So Frila to home probably is when she goes to bed, when she goes into her house, right? So maybe it's correct that she is invisible, eh? But this Frila. Um, Frila is trying to go home. Frila to home. Yeah, exactly. There is an invisible here at the bottom. Yeah. She's going invisible because she is in his home. She's in her home, right? So in this case, it's okay. I don't know exactly which time of the day it is, but potentially it's not. I mean, it's not a time where she's available, so she's going inside her house, and so she's invisible. I think it would be nice to have, the last behavior executed, or something like that, so that you can just ask the NPC what it did. Like tell me what you did the last time, and it tells you. That I think will be interesting. Will be easier, to debug if I can ask the NPC. But basically, this one, yes, she went home. What I want to know is, okay, let's assume that she became invisible, right? I want to see if I now say go visible, if it works, because it seems to me that. So let this go, let this execute. Okay, let this execute. By the way, someone else, Taria also the same. Taria also the same. She's executing Taria to balcony from front door. Yeah, so it's probably moving from the inside of her house to upstairs, and so she's becoming invisible because it looks like she's going into the house, right? Yeah, so all these characteristics seems to be okay. All these ones that I've seen up to now seems to be fine. So it's two NPC which actually had to become invisible. Now we can see if I'm still keeping the debug on, right? I'm still keeping the debug on. So if something happens, we will see. If someone else wants to go invisible, we will see it. Okay. What I want to do, I want to connect, go to Freela now, and try to set my visibility to on. So forcing her to become visible and see if that works. So there is some flow in my logic and in my command. I mean, if the command is not working, okay. So if I do teleport me Freela, what the freaking name is? free la. Okay, free la. Yes. Teleport me free la. I teleported to her. It's impossible. She's here. What do you mean? No. What the hell? I cannot teleport to her for some reason. It's like she's in a place where there is collision, and so I cannot go. She's like inside a. She's like in an impossible place. It looks like, because I cannot teleport to her, and what I've seen is that when I cannot teleport is because is a place. Theory the location is this one, but it's a pity though because I cannot see. Can I teleport me to a specific location? I don't think that is enabled, unfortunately. Teleport me map Idla Plaza, and then the coordinates. I don't think it would work, but let's try. 189 6 is 1. 189 6 is 1. Minus 3270 minus 3270 27 and 11643 11643. Invalid location for teleporting. Yeah, it seems that. Let me go 20 meters above. No. Why? Why? Invalid location for teleporting. Why is saying this? Invalid location for teleporting. Maybe the teleport to a specific location. I never used it this way, so I never used it with the coordinates in Unreal. I think that maybe that part of the code is actually not working. Okay. Invalid location. No. Okay, see. Invalid location for teleporting. Verify the location first. Yes, can handle position greater than 100,000. Okay, there was a kind of a check, that the. What is the maximum for Unreal? Because we need to change this. We need to change this. I think my command was okay, but for some reason we have this 100. Yeah, because Crystal Space was not handling position greater than 100,000, and we can put the Unreal Engine. What is the maximum Unreal Engine thing? Maximum map size Unreal Engine. The default max work constant for a level in Unreal Engine is 20 kilometers. So 20 kilometers. Why there someone is saying 20 kilometer? If you go to work composition window or zoom the way out, some point you see out this represents the largest possible landscape which your estimation is around 20 kilometers square. 20. Okay, let's assume it's 20 kilometers. So 20 kilometers, 20 kilometers, 20 meters, 20,000 meters, right? 20,000 meters in centimeters will be like this. So it will be 2 million, 2 million. So it will be 2 million. Okay, I think we can go 1 million, you know, we can go 1 million, and if it's more than 1 million, we report this error, okay? So, oops. But for sure not 100,000, because 100,000 is way below what we are using now. We assume that more than 1 million chords is out of map. Okay. I don't know why I want to keep this check. By the way, I think I should just remove it, but let's just keep it for whatever reason. Let's just add out of map range. Okay. Let's just add that. So let's kill the thing and let's recompile. And can I remove the? I don't want to auto reload. I want to normal reload. I want the normal compile. Can I delete all this 111 something? Still running. It's still running, boys. Stop. Delete. Recompile. Okay, so at least we will be able to teleport to Frida and see where she was. So I was not able to teleport only because it was an impossible location, I think, for the... But why the normal teleport, though, was not working? Because normal teleport was saying yes, but then this check was saying no. By the way, wait a second. I think I can fix this now. You see all this client get sector, because I fixed the sector thing, so I think this one now is working. This one now is working, and this one also now is working. I don't remember if it's entity manager, but I think it is. So apart from the instance, okay, but I think, yes, I think this sector thing, now we can use it. We can use it. Now, if the sector will be the same, I have no idea, but I assume yes, because now at the moment everyone is in Idla Plaza sector. I enable the sectors, and I think we can fix that part of the code and just have it work okay. Let me play another song for you. Let's see what I have. I didn't download too many. I have to download more. Okay, I think it's running. We still have the debug breakpoint, right? Yes, it's loading. We still have the debug breakpoint, so we will see it. It will be just those two NPC, which makes sense, by the way, because on all the NPC, there were only two that were invisible due to time condition of the day. So on 43 NPC, there were only two which were invisible due to specific time of the day, like they were inside their home, or they were moving between one place and the other. So the other 40 should be all visible. One below ground. Ah, someone is moving! That guy's moving. Fuck, why? Tarela is moving. Okay, so let me make it a bit bigger for you so you can see it. So let me teleport. For example, now they didn't become invisible for some reason. Teleport me freelance. So now I can teleport to her, for example. But she's invisible. This is not good though, huh? Why she's invisible and we did not go through the breakpoint? We did not go through the breakpoint, so there is some other places. Is it possible? Is it possible there are some other places where in the code it makes an NPC invisible? I don't think so. I think it should be the only place. Also because I changed it myself, so set actor hidden in game is something that I added myself with an Unreal Engine call, and I added it only to this place. I don't think it's anywhere else in the code. I can do search entire project, but I assure you it should be only here. At least I think so. It should only be in those two places. Exactly. It's nowhere else. So we did not go through this. Okay, we did not go through this breakpoint. So we didn't set the actor as hidden, but for some reason the actor is hidden. Why the NPC became invisible by himself? Maybe it's below ground or is above ground? Maybe it's below ground and I cannot TP to her for some reason? No, but that's very strange. If I do teleport to her, the position is this. Even if I do a small jump, so it looks like maybe she's below ground. I have this feeling she's below ground. Let me try to slide me down 3 meters, no, 4 meters. I cannot. What is below here? Why I cannot go down 4 meters? 5 meters? Okay, 5 meters I can. Oh fuck, I'm in the sewers now. Can I? Sorry, I can just do this, which is much easier. Why I didn't think about it? I can just detach the camera from my character and look up, you know. No, but she's not here. She's definitely not here. She's inside of this? No. I think the actor is invisible. Why the actor is invisible? Show collision, which was the idea of Jian. I don't see any Maybe the actor got destroyed and that's the last position that he was known. You know, because it's weird. So the position is here, but for some reason, you know, she's not here anymore. But I need a select. You know, I need a select. Select doesn't. We don't have a command to select an NPC and ask for his info. But by the way, no one is going invisible at the moment. Otherwise, it would have stopped here. So we have an NPC, which for some reason we think is here, but is not here, and I don't know why. I don't know why. And if I try to make her visible, this doesn't work at all. So if I do set Freela invisible false, okay, I'm going through that as false, but I still don't see her. Invisible has been disabled. If it's already disabled, I think it doesn't go through the code again. I think it doesn't go through the code again. But yeah, NKF character name character mesh. But anyway, I think it's her anyway. I think it's her. Do we have any other female Enki in the female Enki loaded up? But I don't think it's the gender and the race. I don't think so. Where is Freela here? Freela is gender 12. We have Tarela. Yeah, Tarela, we just saw her walking, so she was perfectly visible. So it makes, so it's not the gender. It's not the gender. It's not the gender. Is it maybe the location which is kind of invalid and so it's fucking up the position? And let me try again to teleport to this location, okay? Because now we fixed the teleport command. So teleport me, Idla Plaza, and then I need to have these crazy numbers. 189,661, well actually nearly 662. Minus 327, 1027, 076, 027, and 11643, okay? Teleport me, fuck. I need to enable copy paste in the chat. How do I enable copy paste in any text box in Unreal? I hope it's possible to enable copy paste, because I really need to copy paste stuff. I cannot continue to type while I'm doing tests. 11643. Yeah, it's exactly here. So it's exactly where I am now. Because if I move and I do it again, no, it's not moving. Okay, so it seems that the teleport with coordinates anyway is not working, which is another thing we need to fix, I guess. Is it going through this? Yeah, I've seen the free asset this month. There are landscape and textures and yeah, different landscapes. So I think they are nice. Target sector. Target point. Yes. Wait a second, I need to let it go, otherwise my client will disconnect. I think we were at the limit of this connection. So this one we don't care. This sector also we need to move object. Okay. I think I need to check few things. So I need to check that this move object is actually doing something, because maybe I commented it out. It's actually doing a teleport. It's actually using teleport, which I think is something that we have implemented. So it's interesting to know why it's not working. Bro is here. It's just no. I think it's this one, right? I think we arrive here with the position. Let me just see 1 second if we arrive there. Just want to see if we arrive to that point. Yes, we do. And it is an Unreal Engine function. So why is not working? There should be an Unreal Engine function, really. Come on, IntelliSense. Why it takes him like 2 hours? Yeah, but you see, his teleport 2 is. Oh, by the way, they're turning a boolean, so I think we can catch the result and print out something, because at the moment I think we are not printing anything, but I think it would be very nice if we could get. So let's do 2 fixes. One, we get the result here, right? And what do we do? We just print it out, or we just say, I don't know. I think if it's not, we can send a message to the client saying that the teleport failed for whatever reason, right? I don't remember if all these functions were actually void in the old game, or they were. Let me check 1 second. We were not returning any error if we couldn't teleport, or we assumed that teleport was always correct. That's a good question. PS character teleport. Okay, first of all, teleport was not inside PS character. Good job. Good job. So it's probably in gem actor or in gem something else. Yeah, in gem actor. It's in gem actor. Okay, well we can open gem and find teleport in theory if we can. Gem actor teleport. No, they were all returning void. So he was assuming that teleport was always working. Okay. Okay, maybe was setting the position, so he was assuming that by default there was no chance he could fail. But now we have a chance because it seems that Unreal Engine gives us the possibility that he fails. So I tried to show the collision, but it didn't show up. Gion, do you know how to enable copy paste in the chat? So can copy paste be enabled by default in a text box, or there is any magic trick that it doesn't allow you to do it because multi-platform whatever, and so it's impossible and blah blah blah, and security and access to the clipboard and whatever? Because I remember some of that in the past. So teleport, it seems that is failing. So let me just send. I don't want to send a U log. I think I want to send a message to the client. I think I want to send to. The problem is. The problem is who to send it to, because actually maybe someone else that teleported. They teleported a player, so well, I can still send it through this character and see what happens. But if I'm teleporting an NPC, then I'm sending the message to the NPC. I think I should return. Yeah, I think this one should become a boolean. I should return the result, and then in the calling function, wherever it is, then I will know who is the. Yeah, I think I should do it like this. So let me, well, 1 second. Let's not do too complex. For now, let's just print out something here to know that it failed, because I want to know if it failed or not. So let me just simply, and then we will make it better later on. Otherwise, we do too much stuff just for a simple. So this is teleport failed. Teleport failed. Okay. Let me just do this. Then the other thing I wanted to do, I wanted to change the. I wanted to change the sector. Yes, it is. So I need to go into admin manager teleport of the old code. Admin manager teleport of the old code, and see teleport of the old code, and see here when he was getting the sector, because he was actually getting the sector somehow. Get target position. Okay, was getting the position with the sector. Yeah. Okay. But I think we have it. No, we have get. Yeah, we have PS game object, get position, and this one is returning also the sector, right? So Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. I think we can just do it like, because I fixed this function. Now that we have sector working, I fixed this function. So all of this is not needed anymore. And I think that here, I hope I'm doing it right. Yes, I'm doing it right. Okay, so that is good. 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 So we fixed that, and we fixed that the other one. So we just need to recompile now, and we will see if you're not sure. I think there was an issue with freaking security access to clipboard and. So if I do a real engine text edit, what is the name? Is textbox text editor? Text edit, edit text, text edit, text editor, text edit. Copy from clipboard. Clipboard, copy from clipboard. Write the string, the system, copy paste, copy transfer. Clipboard copy. Copy the text to the operating system clipboard. Yeah, it seems that there is a function at least. I guess there is also clipboard paste maybe. Yeah, there is a clipboard copy and clipboard paste. Okay, that's a good thing. Has been superseded by. Okay. HoloLens. No, why HoloLens? No, 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 no HoloLens. No, no, normal. Without HoloLens, please. Why this thing is going to. I think there is a bad link in the documentation. Oh my god. Documentation of a real engine sometimes is a bit weird, I have to say. You want to go into level design? Yes, let's do it. Let's design the best forest ever. Did you see the Megascan acquisition and the fact that we can access now the full Megascan collection? Search for Quixel. Search for Quixel Megascan Unreal if you are not aware of it yet. Maybe you are not aware of it, but it's pretty good. Why this thing goes under HoloLens? I click here and it goes under HoloLens. Why it goes inside HoloLens? No idea. But anyway, I hope there is a way. Text edit. What is the name of the edit box? We've got editable text box, editable box, editable, editable text box. That's the name of the thingy. Okay. So yeah, I would like to editable text box, copy paste clipboard. So this is what I need. If someone can search an example or something, I would like to. I just would like to enable it, but I don't have the time now to do it. But I would like to enable it in our, I mean everywhere. Allow context menu enabled. This would be very cool. So with the context menu, then he has the copy paste. Okay, I will check it. I will check it after this run. I will check it after this run, okay? Allow context menu. Allow context menu. That would be cool. Yeah, I think we need it in the chat. I mean, otherwise, I mean, the side effect is that people will start to spam, you know. But I mean, we have Game Master pretty active, so let's say if they spam, they would be removed very quickly. And I think it's mainly useful for yes, for staff, like for devs and GMs to be able to copy paste stuff quickly, commands, whatever. Then I need to understand if the context menu is nice to see or ugly to see. So like if it's which kind of widget style is using, and if you can override it or you need to get the standard one. Okay, is up. Sorry, I was thinking to something else. I was a bit distracted. Let's launch the client. I was thinking that it's late and I need to go. And it's 1 a.m. Absolutely need to go to sleep. Absolutely. Otherwise tomorrow will be hard. But you know, when you're having fun, it goes so quick. I think we are making good progress. It's painful because we are making some of the basics, you know, that are missing and not working and such. But uh, is this girl? I think it's this girl. Yeah, now she's visible, but she's in a different position though because I think she was. Now she's visible and she's here. Before she was like here, and you know. So let me try to teleport exactly in the same position and see if now our teleport is saying that it cannot teleport, okay? So I want to do teleport me map Idla Plaza, and then I want to teleport myself exactly to the same coordinates I was trying before. So 189662, 189662. Oops, I thought I typed 2. 189662, and then minus 37327,027, whatever it is, and then 11643, 11643. Okay. Well, okay, we can let it go. We can let it go. We can let it go. Yeah, it's teleport error. Teleport failed. Why teleport failed? Can I know? Is there an error message or what? I mean, the teleport 2 is failing, right? The teleport 2 is failing. Let me see my position. My position is 190 minus 300. It's very, very, very similar. It's basically, yeah, it's like 327. I can search this position. Minus 3. Well, it's actually 7 meters away, so I mean, I'm pretty sure it's here where we were before. I'm pretty sure it's like here. Three two seven 327020. Maybe he's inside a wall. Maybe that could be the issue. 327. Actually, maybe he's inside this wall. No. 327024 is here. 3186. He's inside this wall. That is why he cannot teleport. He's inside this wall somehow. So I think if I just change slightly the location. So teleport me. So let's change slightly the location. Instead of 371, let's do 227 something, and then 11644. Okay. Yes, he teleported me. Okay, so the problem is that the start location of this lady is inside a wall, right? The start location of this lady is inside a wall. I don't know why, because it should not happen, really. Should not happen. She's moving now, by the way. Let me see where she wants to go. Why she wants to go here? What the fuck with this house? What the fuck with this house? She's becoming invisible now because she went into the house. Okay, it's fine, but I think she is trying to go. I think this house has been changed somehow. I think this house has been changed. Has been repositioned and is not exactly where it was, I think. You know, because it's strange, huh? It's very strange. Let me see the waypoint. Let's show. Yeah, exact. Well, but there is no door. The problem is that there is no door in this house. Why there is no door in this house? Why there is no door? Why there is no door in this house? Why? I think there is someone, and I know the names, moved. No problem. But I know that you moved. You moved this house for some reason. Maybe because it was looking nicer in that position. I don't know. But the result is that now the path going there is fucked up. I can launch the old game and see. I can set invisibility and show collision. Yes, I can. Can do it now if you want. So I can set invisible this guy. Let me just check his name. Hopefully it's not too complex of a name. Cinto. Cinto is perfect. So we can first I can show the collision. Show collision. Right? Do we see his collision? Well, it's a bit thin, but I can see it. Yes, I can see the capsule. It's a bit thin, but I can see it. Maybe you cannot, but I can see it. And then I do set Cinto invisible true. Yeah, the capsule is still here. Yes, so he's invisible, but the capsule is there. By the way, he's not colliding with me, but he's colliding with the ground because I can go through him. Right, our characters. I can go through characters, but yes, his capsule is there. The problem is that it's not very easy to see, but it's there. The capsule is there. So even if he's invisible, the capsule is there. visible false. So you know what I think? I think that that particular character was trying to spawn into the wall, and actually the engine was not spawning it into the wall. And so, but the last known position in my engine, I mean in my server side logic, was still somewhere, and so I was teleporting to a character which was actually not existing. But this may be a problem, you know. So this means that when we spawn something, if it's spawned in a place where it cannot spawn, we are fine. Yeah, for example, you see, we see the capsule of the lady now. The lady is here, and we see the capsule. I see it at least. Maybe you don't, but I see. There is a small capsule here. The problem is why that house has been moved. That's the issue. We should, if we move houses now, is a mess, boys. It's a mess. Maybe it was just a mistake, but if it's done by purpose, we have a problem. Let me launch the old game, go in exactly the same position, and you will see that probably this house will not look like this. We can teleport ourselves to Sinto and see. Show collision. We'll remove it. So teleport me Sinto. Okay, so here we are. Yeah, exactly. You see the house is completely different. I mean, it's just rotated. It's not completely different. It's just a small mistake of rotation. I think the house is in the right place. It's just being rotated backward. That's it. Nothing more. So let me just do a screenshot. Can I do a screenshot? Yeah, I can do a double screenshot of the old game and the new game. Just to tell the guys that this happened. And there is a good point of view. There is a good point of view as well. I mean, about the same. I mean, not exactly the same, but it's fine. Stamp, screenshot, and go. File is in use. Okay. Use it. Crop. Ouch. It's pretty cool to see the game in the two engines anyway. I really like the comparison, you know, to see the same spot in the two engine. Look at the quality of. I mean, it's the same textures, same identical textures, so no difference. Apart from the fact that the house is rotated the wrong side, but you see the quality of the lights and the bump and the normal maps and I don't know, everything. It looks just bad. I mean, the old one look nice as well. I mean, he has his own style if you want. So it's retro, you know, retro gaming if you is nice. I mean, I like it because I've seen it this way for so many years. So I like the way it looks, but I mean, the new one is insanely better, right? Apart from the shadow of the house, if you see the shadow on the ground of the house and but anything, if you look at the tower, so the difference between the tower and the grass and this plant, the plant here really stands out, and the tower stands out. Here is all blended together, so there is basically no light. So yeah. Okay, so they just wrote down the fact that we need to fix this, but yeah. So why the spawn now? This location is fine. Now the problem I have is why the spawn point. Why the spawn point is inside a wall, right? Because in theory, if I show the path, here, you know why a location. So what is the current position? This is the old game, huh? You are looking at the old game. Why the position? You notice there is the old game because the chat is beautiful compared to the new one. Now the location here is minus 110.28, right? So I would like to understand if maybe the spawn point of this NPC is anyway bad, also in the old game, or if there is an error in the translation. Hello Games UK Studio, welcome. I'm working on a server and a client, both, yes. And server side we are using Unreal, but it's our own server, meaning that we use Unreal server side, and so we use Unreal RPC and networking for communicating client to server. So it's not a fully custom made server, if you ask, but is based on Unreal, but it has a lot of our code into it. It has a lot of our code into it. Yeah, so like we built all our managers and all our manager classes and all of that. How do I know? How do I know if this point is the wrong point? Because in theory she should spawn exactly here, right? She should spawn in this location. She should spawn in this location, right? So let me check. First of all, let me check if this location is in the database. Also, the previous location. I have to go in the production console for a second. NPC map, NPC view and say NPC map. So where she is? Freela. Yeah, Freela is minus 133 and something, 10 vertical and minus 3088. Well, minus 3088 is not exactly here, but I think it's like here, so minus 28, no, maybe it's this one at the front, maybe it's here. 30. Yeah. Anyway, is here. Is not exactly, but is a minus 100. Yeah, is here. Is exactly it. So the spawn location is here. Now, why with these coordinates we came up with such a fucked up position in Unreal Engine? Because we actually came up with a very bad position. So when we did the translation, so or that wall is moved. No, but even if the wall is moved, I mean, this place must be here. No, 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 no. There is something. There is something weird. There is something weird because if I go here, we should be pretty much the point. Should be pretty much the point, and I do position, I see that my position is 189,626, while in the database we have 189,661. Okay, it's 20 centimeters. This one is basically it. Then this one I think is the wrong one. So this one is minus 327,120. 327,120. So it's 1 meter from here. You know what? I think it's just inside of this. I think it's not a bad position. It's the right position, but the fact that the house was wrong was not allowing the engine to spawn the girl. That's the only point. So I think it's good. I think we are looking at a non-problem. I think the positions are correct. It's just this house which is rotated. That's it. So I think it's fine, guys. It's too late. I really need to go. If you want to help me, just click on follow on Twitch, so you will see when I'm online. And the more viewers we have, the more viewers will come, and subscribe on YouTube. Thank you for the follow. Immediate action. Wow. Thank you. If you want, we also have a Patreon site. So if you want to be part of the supporters team, if you go to Patreon/Planeshift, you can donate, I don't know, even $1 if you want, but the minimum is $3 to get a perk, and you get access to the supporter channel and a lot of other stuff. Okay, so I think we did good stuff today. So just to summarize what we did, we still have a problem with this visible invisible. We have to test it better, but I think it could be in valid positions. It could be in valid positions. I think the visible invisible may work okay. It's just in possible positions that the engine cannot spawn the NPC. So we verified this stuff of the path. We checked a lot of the path in game. We expanded the path. We checked with the new database what happens, and I think we did pretty good stuff. Thank you, Pion, for following. And so yeah, overall I think we did good progress. Now what's next? What's next is to ensure that the NPC are actually moving correctly and not hanging up in rotate, because we have seen one that was hanging up in the rotate function. I think I have to test a bit more, but for now it's okay. It's at the level of testing, so it's good enough. What I would like to do next time is to work on combat. I think we need combat to work better to be a playable game. At the moment, combat is very bad. It feels bad. Is hard to use. I don't like it. We never really developed it in Unreal, so that's why probably it's that way. But we need to make it. The only good thing that we have is the combat mode and our pointer, that points to our enemies. But we need to change the targeting system, because selecting an enemy is super annoying and it should not be required like this. You see, I'm trying to attack this guy now. The reaction from NPC, we need to check it again now that we did a lot of fixes to the AI. Maybe they will react better, but we need to see how they react, if they really block, if they really, respond to the attack if they chase properly. I mean, it was kind of working before, but we need to fix it. So I think we will do it in the arena. We will do it in the arena next time, so I can maybe save my character there. Let me see if I can go to the arena 1 second. I will have to slide myself up a lot and then go forward a lot because the arena is just in front of us. So if I do slide me up 300, no, don't do this. And then I just walk forward a lot. Boom. We are in an area that actually doesn't exist in the old plane shift, which is the land between the city and the arena. And this is something that was not existing. Oops. Was not existing in the old game, and now it is. You way. I like to fly, huh? You like you see how the character knows that is falling, and so he's using a different animation for falling. We are too smart, huh? Actually, it's not us, but ooh, I can enter the arena now. It's getting fixed. So we will fight. We will fight here in the arena. I don't know if you've already seen this area, but hop, 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 hop. Yeah, I think it will be here. We will spawn some NPC here, and we will fight. And we will test combat here in the arena. Wow, this grass is a bit too much, boys. But okay. I think we need to fix it. It's too much, and it's too similar. But it's okay. We can fight here, or we can fight in the down in the dungeon. But I think here would be okay. Okay, good. Graphics look so much better. Yeah, I think so. I think so. And we didn't actually improve it. Imagine when we start to improve it. Because for now we did not. Well, we improved a bit actually. I have to say, like the grass has been updated, and some of the this area has been made uneven, which is very nice. It's not a flat ground. So what the hell is that, by the way? And yeah, so there are it's definitely improved. Yeah, I think the game will look much better in Unreal. So really much better. Okay, guys, it's too late. Fuck, I need to go. I don't know why I'm still speaking. Thank you for watching. Bye bye. See you soon. Have fun. Let me load the plane shift song though. I need a plane shift song for the ending. I will not find it in time. Plane shift soundtrack. I found it. I found it. Which one you want? The Citadel? The Citadel is very nice. See you boys.